everybody. Well, at least it's morning for me. I just woke up and I watched the first episode of Moon Knight and I was like, I gotta talk about it. Woo, Moon Knight is fire. At least this first episode is. There's still 5 more to go. Hopefully it doesn't dip, but I highly doubt it will. Now, I'm going to go into spoilers because, the first episode out, it's available for people to watch, but if you want my quick non-spoiler thoughts real quick, it was fire. I loved it. It is probably the strongest opener to any MCU show that has come out so far, and I'm very excited for the next 5 episodes that will be coming out over the coming weeks. That being said, I'm going to move into spoilers and really get into this episode. So, for people who have now seen the episode, I went into Moon Knight knowing a very limited amount of knowledge about the character, but I was self-aware of his mental disorder and how he has multiple personalities. And I think they handled that really well in this first episode, because even going in knowing that, I could feel the tensity of every moment that passed in the show. They did a great job of showcasing Steven's life and how terrible it was, and then how Mark taking over his body has left him disassociated with reality. There are moments where you saw he's like, I don't remember doing certain things because Mark did it. And as the episode goes forward, it went from being small little things like how Mark probably asked out the woman at his job without him knowing, to it being every few minutes, him and Mark were switching because they're in dire straits, when they're getting chased by all those cultists in, I don't even know what country that was, but I'm gonna assume it was somewhere in Egypt, possibly. But when they were getting hunted down by everybody, and they started going back and forth and switching, and then as the episode kept pronouncing, he started hearing their voices, and I feel like that other voice that he was hearing was probably Khonshu, which, for those of you who are uninitiated with Moon Knight, Khonshu is the god that Mark worships. He's the one that he models his moniker off of. The whole Moon Knight thing and everything is for Khonshu. So that's who I'm assuming that weird skeleton Egyptian looking thing that was coming after Steven was, and who was talking to him this whole time. I just, man, I'm blown away by this episode. I think Oscar Isaac did such an incredible job with this, all of his little mannerisms and everything to differentiate between Steven and Mark, and the way, the effects that they use. Just, I don't know if it's simple or if it's expert level. I am unaware, but I really liked how they integrated, Mark and Steven talking to each other back to back to the mirrors and everything, and how it had left you looking in places you wouldn't want to or usually would, because the camera's focused on Oscar Isaac as Steven, but then you're okay, but because he's losing it, there's might be something in the shadows, or you might see something in the mirror because that's where Mark is, and he's lurking around watching Steven, trying to keep him from finding out that he's there or investigating too much. And I just thought that was fantastic. I want to say it's Kevin Bacon, but I'll have to look into that later. So in later videos about Moon Knight, if I'm wrong, I'm sorry, and I will correct it in the future. But the actor who plays the antagonist, like I said, I believe it's Kevin Bacon. He is fantastic. He was really cool and menacing, and that first opening scene where he put the shoes on with the glass in it, I was I'm uncomfortable right now, but also I'm very intrigued because I want to know what's up with this guy. And seeing that he's this cult leader that worships Amet, Egyptian goddess, I'm okay, that's a good intro to your character. It really sets you off and establishes your influence and how evil you are, and I'm looking forward to seeing that. And I also like the fact that I think a good villain is always someone that doesn't view themselves as evil. They see what they're doing as just. So Thanos, for example, is the example, is the prime example in the MCU, that he didn't see what he was doing as evil. He saw it as just, that he was trying to balance everything out. And I feel that's what this guy feels as well. He does not see what he's doing as wrong, at least not in this first episode. He sees what he's doing as bringing justice, as bringing balance according to his goddess, which I think is really cool. I like villains that aren't yeah, I'm evil, what of it? Villains that are evil, that even if you are you're completely in the wrong, you don't see it because of whatever's going on in your mind. I like that kind of villain, so I'm looking forward to seeing more of this character. I love the little things they have in Mark's apartment, the goldfish. I kind of wish now they didn't name the episode the goldfish problem. I kind of wish the goldfish was something in the background that was less prominent for a while. Like the goldfish, like you meet it at the beginning, and Steven makes a point of saying that his goldfish is disfigured and only has one fin. I kind of wish there were more scenes in his apartment where you noticed the like goldfish like swimming normally, and he didn't notice until that point where he gets back from whatever the country that was, and he like goes to feed it, and he's like, what happened to my fish? Because that's not my fish. How did it grow another fin? I kind of wish there were more moments like that. And maybe there were, because like I said, there's like things in the background that you need to like keep focus on. Like when that jackal creature just like crawls out of the shadows as like Steven's walking through the museum. You know, if you're not focused enough, you know, you might miss it. So, man, I'm just gushing over this episode because it was just a really, really strong start to a series that I've been very much looking forward to. When I first heard they were coming out with a Moon Knight series, I only knew of Moon Knight in costume and in meme form. That's it. I didn't really know much about him. I read a couple issues of the 2006 Moon Knight run so I could get a little bit integrated with the character, and I thought he was really cool. I really loved it in that, and I was looking forward to the show even more. And now that the first episode is out, I am ecstatic. One thing that I will say they did really well is the comedic timing in this episode. The MCU has terrible timing with jokes. A prime example is this scene from the Eternals, which I hate so much.
Hey, Jack's dead.
It's true, buddy. We lost her.
Yeah, that scene right there, like, the comedic timing is just completely ill-placed because it's just like, hey, we just told you someone you care about really died. Here's a joke. Why would you do something that messed up? I don't understand. But the MCU has terrible timing like that all the time, or just cheesy lines, and I think Moon Knight episode 1 did a great job at balancing the intensity with the comedy. Like, there would be a tense scene, but there's like appropriate music playing that is thematically relevant to the character of Mark and Steven, or Moon Knight, whichever you prefer, and to the situation at hand. And then there will be like comedic moments like in that sequence that's like, okay, that worked narratively because like that's something that could have happened, and it didn't detract me from the tensity of everything that's happening right now. So all in all, Moon Knight episode 1 was awesome. It slapped. I'm very much looking forward to the future of it. And before I go, I have to talk about that badass final scene where Mark and Steven finally, it's just the two of them talking to each other. Then this tense moment, that jackal thing's coming in, and Mark's just like, you gotta give him control, and Steven's still trying to like say like it's a dream. Like he's always like, no, it can't be real. This isn't real. And then, you know, he finally like he just gives up. He's like, you know what? If it is a dream, it's a dream. And it's like, if it's not a dream, I'm gonna die. So screw it. Whatever this weird voice is, whoever that dude in the mirror is that's saying he can save my life, screw it. Go ahead. And he just lets Mark take control. And I love the fact that you don't actually see him fight the jackal in the episode. You just see the end of it. You just see him kill it at the end, and then he walks off in the Moon Knight costume, and that's where the episode cuts. I really loved that they did not blow their load too early on this first episode, that they were just like, you know what, hey, we're just gonna do what we think we should show enough of. We should like tease the audience, you know, get them integrated with the character of Steven, because this is his episode. We want you to know about him. Mark is the mystery. Moon Knight is the mystery, and we'll give you a little taste, just a little bit of taste, just a little taste of Moon Knight at the very end, so you get hyped for the rest of the season, and then he'll show up more as time goes on. So I'm very much looking forward to that. I love it. The first episode, really strong start. Can't wait for more. And with that, that'll be about it. And my thumbnail is going to be that good for this video because I filmed this video super early and I'm posting it before my thumbnail artist wakes up. So, yeah, ignore the crappy looking thumbnail for this video. Anyway, I'm the innocent villain. Remember, folks, stay innocent till proven villainous, and I will catch you in the next one.